Dis-lui je t'aime. Fais-lui bisou. Jura Bolino. Maître Tony Mwaba. Paolo Tudilo. Tété Kaboua. Jean-François Ndengue. Mère Kakitebe. Mère Kikazoa. Et si on me lance mon nez, mon ami Payou, Jacques Pemba, Belade,
well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Friday edition of the Political Soccer Game, live on Bridge TV in Africa, Bridge Radio in Africa. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. We're in your living room on your big screen, as usual, you know. You might just want to enjoy the show with several others by sharing the video and subscribe to the page as well, so that in the future you have that instant notification when we come out. And as always, we just want to give Lord the praise. Want to thank him for giving us another shot of life. You know, he didn't have to do it, but he did that for all of us. And the fact that we can wake up, and sometimes your body tells you that you can't do it, but then your mind keeps telling you, listen, get up and just brush the shoulder and go looking for it. We want to pray for our country, Liberia. We want to pray for George Weah. Pray for the incoming president, Joseph Yoman Boyka. Pray for the people of Liberia and bring us that change that Liberia needs. In the name of Jesus, we have given thanks. Amen. Welcome to the show. I know some heard the name, some heard people talk about them. But you've gotten the opportunity this afternoon to match the face, name, and voice, the mastermind, the doctor of love, the medicine of the microphone, the broadcast commissioner, Basi Yomplo. C'est qu'on voulait appeler. Bodo Blay, Badi Koya Bodo say, but Yakuya play. Yours truly, he doesn't eat iron, but he's definitely stronger than a lion. Africa's media Dobido extraordinaire. The media mogul creator, as for the giant, the now you know me Garlic. Welcome to the show.
ils vont subir. Michel Matiama aigle souverain. Samba Mouté Samba. Wikason, Mamita Dina. C'est quoi tout le monde vous appelle Nicolo? Pour les gens à 10 millions et plus. Attends, ça vous tombe, tu as mon bouquet. Charisma. Sofiana. Sinalo. SS. Guy Bouchiri, Jacques Kamambouama. Del Papo Couture, à Paris. Yamba Chéri, Arnaud Technologie. Bibi, je t'aime. Allez, fais Dolph Monte Bachilamina. Alors,
So very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin with the playing of the national anthem for both teams, Societal Ills, and of course, Lone Star. After which, we're going to bring you the lineups for both teams. I'd like to say good afternoon to my childhood friend and brother, Kessley Kamara, a.k.a. George Kamara. He says he's looking forward to a great show. I also like to say hi to Lofa Dede. She said he's happy Friday. And listen, let's have fun this afternoon. Let's put Mama Liberia first. And we'll need to continue to pray for our country. And we're hoping that the better things will begin to happen. You know, we're going to have a special political soccer commentator later on in the program. Mr. Alice Chuchu Jones will make his presence known this afternoon. And what are your plans for the weekend? What are your plans for the new year? You know, in the comment section, you can drop 1 or 2 lines there, you know, as we look forward to seeing a wonderful inauguration in Liberia. What are your plans? Some of you guys, are you planning to go to Liberia for the inauguration? My man Don Pekin, LD, a.k.a. Lexington. How are you, my brother? I'm pretty sure you're having a blast. Listen, grab something to drink. Get the popcorn rolling as we dive into this very powerful political soccer game this afternoon. And after the game today, we'll take a break from the political soccer match for the week and reappear on Monday with a fresh, brand new production. In the meantime, continue to share the video, invite a few friends as we have fun this afternoon. I'd like to recognize the religious advisor to British Radio Africa, British TV Africa, the Dr. Reverend Whittuck Harris Sr., a.k.a. the Prophet. He's out of Golden Valley, Minnesota. I also like to say hi to Kafala Trawale. He said, best radio station. Thanks for the compliments. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin to play the national anthems now for both teams, following which we will introduce the lineups for Societal Ills and the Lone Star team. In the meantime, grab something to drink, share the video, invite a few friends. Hey, man, let's have a blast this afternoon. And that's right. Once again, we are back. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please take a listen to the national anthem for a group of unserious people who tried to destroy our country in 6 years. But, you know, we have the man above God, and he helped us in trying to confuse these people in giving us that change that we all hope for. So take a listen now to the national anthem for the group Societal Ills.
No bad one to us, na oro ina somo na oro ina somo no bad one speak to oh, yo. Double bad, one draw to all, yo. That all, in a from all, that all, in a from all, bad one street to all.
I will be coming to you shortly to ask you to renew for a second time the mandate that you gave me 6 years ago.
And that's the national anthem for societal ills. Let us now take a listen to the national anthem for the Republic of Liberia.
Oh, my people, we want to tell you thank you plenty for voting for the rescue mission. Your thank you, yeah, my people, your thank you. Your deal, well.
Thank you very much.
Your thank you, thank you. Liberia people, thank you for voting for us. Your thank you, thank you. Rescue mission say thank you for voting for us. Thank you, thank you. JB say thank you for voting for us. Thank you, thank you. JKK say thank you for voting for us. Thank you, thank you. Rescue mother say thank you for voting for us. Thank you, thank you. Rescue and they say thank you for voting for us. Thank you.
And it's time to say hi to A.B. Boblet. He's watching us from Germany. A.B., how are you this afternoon? Maple Solo is also in the building this afternoon.
We want to say a very
Guys, fall out to our rally.
Your financial support.
Don't Pekin, LD, Lufa Deda, Cassidy Kamara.
Thank you. You have fought a good fight.
Ali Kamara.
Thank you.
It's been a long time, my brother.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure you guys are having fun this afternoon. Oh, man.
Traditional council. Thank you. Council of women, council of churches, Muslim council. We tell you thank you. Cause you make the right for trust me. You voted for your children future. You don't vote for money. You don't vote for package and chicken cheese. You voted with your whole heart, man.
La Victor Sharif. Oh, man.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for voting.
And that's the national anthem for Liberia. Previously you heard the national anthem for societal ills. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves and get ready for the lineups for both teams as we come to you with the famous political soccer game of our time.
I want Liberian Loonstar, one of four players. I want Liberian Loonstar, got one of four players. I want Liberian people, we choose success. I want Liberian people, we choose success.
And today we have switched up a little bit the lineups for both teams. And lance band number 1 is the Senate. The lance band number 2 is the House of Representatives. While the referee, the chief referee, is the Supreme Court of Liberia. While the March Commissioner is the National Elections Commission. And starting off with the strangers first. Number 1, we have impunity. We also have political torture. Business as usual. Then we have murder. False imprisonment. Debate misstatement. Corruption. Tax evasion. Insurance fraud. Bushmeat. Sex for jobs. Political prostitute. Conflict of interest. Blackmailer. Greedy hunter. Overdraft protection fees. Nepotism. No paid, no section. Tribalism. Drugs abuse. Power theft. Oh, man. And for Liberia, we have the Ministry of Commerce. We also have the Finance Ministry, Central Bank, DEA, Liberia National Police, the Bureau of Immigration, National Investment Commission, National Port Authority, LPRC, LRA, National Social Security, NSA, Foreign Affairs, the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Man. I'd like to say hi to Memman Trulet Johnson, as she's on the field this afternoon. Now, don't be selfish now. Share the video, invite a few friends. And if this is your first time on this platform, please subscribe to the page, both on YouTube and Facebook, so that the next time we appear, you have that instant notification. So what becomes the winner this afternoon? We have lots of interesting things going on in our country. The justice system is a failure. Corruption is at its peak for the first time in a long time. Ghost employees all over the place. Oh man. Somebody is asking how can they get the VIP ticket? Well, you see the Cash App up on there. Just make use of the Cash App and then we'll get that information. Since today is Friday now, I see some powerful people here planning to get in VIP. You know?
Liberian golden boys, yeah. Liberian golden boys, yeah. Liberian yellow boys, yeah.
And I see the Reverend Dr. Walter D. Good in the second. Just enter the field.
Yellow boys, yeah.
So as soon as we get signal from the officials, we are going to begin this all-important political soccer game this afternoon on British Television Africa. LEC better behave yourself this afternoon. The people enjoy the game. But in the meantime, you know, we got a generator, but no fuel in the generator. So, you know, with the Cash App on there, I'm pretty sure that as some of you guys will see reaching to give a few oil for the generator just to be on the standby. Because you can't trust LEC, you know? The ball is in the middle of the field, folks. I see both lines, man. The both linesmen are locked up in the restroom. They can't come outside. I don't know what's going on. And I see a bunch of angry spectators. They have blocked the restroom for the Senate and the restroom for the House of Representatives. They are saying these senators get paid all the time. The representatives get paid all the time. But we didn't get our holiday pay. We didn't get paid for Christmas. They pay them extra fees to sit, but they can't pay we the staffers. They can't pay us to sit down. So for that reason, they will remain in that bathroom. They will not come on the field until they pay our money. And this is what we're hearing now. So there's a little delay on the field, folks. Please bear with us. The staffers at the Capitol building are saying if the Senate is not responsible enough, if the representatives are not responsible enough to pay the staffers, there will be no game this afternoon. That's the first problem we see here this afternoon at the SKD Sports Complex. You go to work, you expect to get paid. The senators are getting paid, riding BB cars, having plenty of girlfriends and boyfriends. Then the staffers who are working at the Capitol building, they're serving you, making sure the building is clean. You can't pay them. And this is just not so fair to the people. So they are saying this, the Senate and the representatives cannot come outside. The senators and the representative would not come outside until they get paid. I mean, the black everywhere. This is Liberia for you. I mean, every 3 months, something crazy will happen at that Capitol building. Why you can't pay the people after the people go to work? And let me tell you, the Liberian people that I know in Liberia, they're so committed. Whether they get paid or not, they get up every day to go to work. The fact that they have something called job. These people are so, man, they are so loyal to their jobs. Why you can't pay the people? Why? You getting paid all the time. You take weekends to London, Ghana, India, you go seek medical attention. You pay yourself big salary, but then there's starvers who are working day in and day out. You can't pay them. This is just not fair, my folks. And so that's why they're blocking the refs when they're saying that the referee cannot come outside until they get paid. And I think I agree with them. Some of these guys, live in America. And you know, in America, when you work, you expect to get paid, right? But then when you go to Liberia, you treat your own people like dirt. And we're hoping that this new administration will bring something to change the narrative, you know? Every 90 days, you got to hear something stupid at that Capitol building. People work, they can't get paid. What is going on? You can't keep doing this to your own people, man. Jeez. You know, the staffers are still doing no protests. The Liberian will say grumble. They best your grumble, and they're saying the senator then can't go. They will not even have session if you can't get paid. You know, Mr. Richard Carter. It's been a long time, my brother. Lionel Buxton, Nathaniel Beach, Alexander Wapo, the Godfather himself, the political game changer. Alex Wapo is in the building. Oh, man. And I see the senator from Grand Cape County is trying to make a little bit of compromise to talk to the people. But the staffers are so stubborn as well. They are saying no pay, no session. You know, Liberia main like he said, you gotta be tough. You gotta be tough on them. They only believe that they alone can eat, but others can't eat. And so the staffers, after a little intervention from the Cape Mount senator, and I see the senators are coming outside one by one, but they say they can't come in with the cars. Their cars will remain outside. You remember during the early days of George Weah's administration, Joy Howard Taylor, the outgoing VP, Joy Howard Taylor said She never had gasoline for a car. She never had fuel for a generator. In fact, McGill and George Weah sidelined this woman, and she was crying. She talked to the media. The sitting vice president of the country, they put a hold on her budget until they reached compromise. Then they start to release smart into her. But listen now. Former First Lady, former Senator, Vice President of the country, and you're the chairperson of the Senate, and you have people who have family members. All they ask for is the salary that due them, and you can't pay them the money. You can't even intervene. But because you're doing very well, you can take trip to Ghana and other places. Then the poor staffers that are working for you on a daily basis, very loyal and committed, you can't pay them. This is just so sad for our country. And we're hoping that something better will happen comes the new administration. Mr. Winston Boyd, Elijah Cotto, and the rest of the crew this afternoon at the SKD Sports Complex in Painesville. And as we see the senators come in now, even though they cannot enter with the cards, I will see them come in now. The ball is in the middle of the field. Mr. Richard Carter has given us something to call reserve. Just in case LEC goes, we'll have something to put fuel in the generator. Mr. Richard Carter, we say a big thank you for your contribution. And I see you and your wife just entering in VIP. I saw you, excuse my French. I saw the ticket that you purchased. So Richard Carter and his wife just entered VIP, and they provided some resources for the fuel oil, just in case LEC tried to misbehave this afternoon at the SKD. The ball is in the middle of the field. The ball comes to political torture. Political torture to business as usual, back to political torture. If someone commits a crime in Liberia, you should follow the rule of law and deal with that person. But don't falsely accuse people, because at the end of the day, you will pay for this. The murder that occurred in Caldwell at the home of the former Chief Justice of Liberia, Madam Gloria Musu Scott. We are hearing now that the jury was tampered with. In fact, we are told that the jury is about to speak out. We had one of the jurors last night on our show on Ashford Garden Live. But she said she only stayed there 2 weeks, then she got sick. Because when you leave, you can't come back. And they were at the Temple of Justice. I'm familiar with the terrain because my father used to be a sheriff at the Temple of Justice. They will keep you in there. They got rooms and everything down there. They will cook for you 3 times a day. You will eat. You are not allowed to see anybody outside. So when she took sick, they released her and said, listen, saying you're sick and you have to be rushed to the hospital, we're sorry, you can't come back. But the rest of the jurors now are saying, according to our sources, are saying that they were coerced. They gave a verdict that they didn't come to conclusion on. And the people that forced them to turn this verdict into a guilty verdict against Gloria Scott and 3 others, the names will soon surface. And this is true, then the real killer of Shala Musu is out there. And somebody needs to do something. But when you have a good-for-nothing justice minister who only thinks about his pocket and his family, you know, sometimes when you do bad to Liberia and do bad to the people of Liberia, that stuff trickles down. It goes back to your family unborn, your children, and everybody. Musa, then you have a 10-year-old daughter. Listen, you are the justice minister. The people who died in Liberia and we can't find redress, and you as justice minister can't give us no head, no tail. They too have children. They have wives. How do you sleep at night when you can't say anything? What's the redress to the auditors that died? What's the redress to Melvin Early? The 3 missing boys. But you're comfortable in your own area and making it seem that nothing is happening. Then you have become now a job hopper Joe, hopping from one job to another. You can't even solve problems as justice minister. Now you want to get in another position where you'll be for life. You want to become an associate justice. This is just not fair for our country. The ball comes to murder to false promises to day by day misstatement, to corruption, back to day by day misstatement. Then the ball goes to tax evasion to insurance fraud, on the bushmeat. Bushmeat is moving deep in and out of the field. Then the ball comes to sex for job looks around to political prostitute, onto conflict of interest, to blackmailer to greedy hunter, back to blackmailer. Then the ball comes to overdraft protection fees. There's no more overdraft protection fees for Liberia. Because under George Weah, our country has become so useless. We borrow, we can't pay. We credit, we can't pay. We use up all the overdraft protection privileges. Now we don't have any overdraft protection privilege anymore because of George Weah. The ball comes to nepotism to no pay, no session, no pay, no back to nepotism onto tribalism. Then the ball comes to drugs abuse to power theft looks around back to greedy hunter, to power theft, to blackmailer. Then the ball comes to bushmeat, they're moving deep in and out of the field. The ball comes to power theft. The president of Liberia is stealing light. The speaker of the House of Representatives is stealing light. Most of the government officials are stealing light. All the stealing you're doing from Liberia, from the Liberian people, you can't afford to pay your own light bill. Then when the poor man steal light, then you want to be in jail at market door. When in reality, you yourselves are criminal and rogues.
Yellow boys, hey, yeah.
Thinking of stealing light, I think the LEC tripping now. But we got some standby here, you know. If you can just do a little something, just in case when LEC go, then we can have money to buy fuel for the generator. We'd like to say a big thank you to Richard Carter for his contribution. Ms. Vidal Campbell, we want to say thank you too for your contribution this afternoon at the SKD Sports Complex. No score to either side, no score to Liberia, and no score to Societal Ills. Play-by-play description this afternoon with yours truly, that now you know me, Garley. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to Minister Cummins. Cummins looks around. He's moving deep in and out of the field. Cummins doesn't get a better hand. The ball comes to Finance Ministry. Finance Ministry, a.k.a. Sanction King Kong, a.k.a. Leprosy Baboon. Finance Ministry is looking around, moving deep in and out of the field. Then the ball comes to Central Bank. Central Bank back to DEA, back to Central Bank to Finance. Finance back to Central Bank. Central Bank is moving deep in and out of the field. Soon you get like, bro, man, small power, then they change. They change overnight. They Talu guy who was just struggling the other day in New Jersey, they make the man central bank governor. Guess what? When Talu is in the elevator, nobody can get in the elevator because he's the central bank governor. This segregation, they think that happened. The big elevator to that. The central bank is in the elevator. They will tell you, say, y'all stay outside until the central bank governor gets out. Yeah. When you go in the real world, people all get, you're not president, you just central bank governor. Then you alone must stay in the elevator now. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? And when I tell people Liberia is country friend, you think we'll be joking. This is not a serious country. We're hoping that their country becomes a serious country under the new administration. But we're watching. We're looking at them. Because any power and then bullshit fire will blaze. Yes. Then the ball comes to National Social Security. National Social Security looks around to NSA battle Social Security. People are investing into Social Security, but they can't get the money. You work your whole life. Time to get your Social Security, you can't get it. This too is Liberia. Then the ball comes to LEC to Foreign Affairs. Foreign Affairs looking around, moving deep in out of the field. Foreign Affairs, big swarm man, posted up for a team match. The ball comes to Immigration, back to Foreign Affairs. Oh man.
Our Liberian people wish you success. Wherever you play, wherever you go. The Liberian people.
Let me tell you about George Weah's interpretation of creating jobs. When you go to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, maybe things has changed, yo. In the bathroom, no running water. The BBP4 drums. People in this day and age, people still throwing water in gallon and in bucket on their head. Carry it to the foreign ministry in the bathroom. And guess what? They got the old man there in the bathroom. Send no tissue, they give you hard paper. They ask you going to do number 1 or you going to do number 2. Then before you enter the bathroom, you get in, they give you hard paper. Then when you finish, they use the bucket to flush the camo. Then when you come outside, you finish eating yourself, then you get in $1 or $5. That George Weah under interpretation of creating jobs for our country. Good for nothing, useless president. My lovely small sister Kalonzai is in VIP. Thanks for your contribution. And very shortly at halftime, we're going to go to Alexander Choo Choo Jones, the soccer political commentator, to tell us how he feels about the outgoing administration and the incoming administration. So, Alice, if you're getting our signal, if you have the link, just begin to make your way through in the backstage. Mr. Abu Bibito Fofana, Monsieur le Patron, bonjour, bienvenue. Aha! Back to the field of play. The ball comes to tax evasion. Tax evasion back to Black Miller. Black Miller will greet the hunter onto overdraft protection fees. Overdraft protection fee to nepotism. Nepotism to no pay, no session. No pay, no session to tribalism onto drugs abuse. Drugs abuse to power theft. Power theft to Ministry of Commerce. My one in these has a nerve to go order the arrest of journalists because they call her a criminal. They call you a rogue. You are smart in the head and very weak from the waist below. That's why you're the chairperson now of the open door policy. Any number can win. Under your leadership as Commerce Minister, all your friends and family are getting privileges in becoming consultants. You selling Liberia property abroad. Come on. And we are told now that the IMF got concerned when the huge transfer in the tons of millions were being transferred from Liberia overseas by my one Dix. That's the allegation we just received. Until the IMF got concerned, went to Central Bank and said, hey, do you approve of this kind of money that's leaving the country under this lady as Commerce Minister? Never had a pot to paste into the window to throw it out of. but within 6 years, 6 years, you have become a millionaire under this good for nothing government. The boy comes to business as usual, onto political prostitute, then the boy comes to forced imprisonment, to murder. Murder looks around to dead body can't make statement. Dead body can't make statement to corruption, onto let us say baboon, to conquer gossiper. He's moving deep in after the field. Then the boy comes to bushmeat. Bushmeat is going down. When he make it, no, he doesn't. Oh man, the game has come to a momentary standstill. No score to either side. No score to Liberia, and no score to societal ills. Play-by-play description this afternoon with yours truly, that now you know me Carly. The game has come to a momentary standstill, and we see Alex Tutu, Alice Choo Choo Jones. Alex, please unmute your device and come in. Alex, are you there? Where the hell is ball going again? Okay, folks. Now, somebody tried to tell me where you see it, but we are trying to put things under control. So we're trying to put things under control. So in the meantime, if you are interested in getting in VIP like the other people there, you know, they drop a little something there on the Cash App. Where's Alex? So I just saw the man. Gonna spot again here. I gotta do the people. Okay, we see it. Vidal Campbell, a very powerful supporter of this program. She's in VIP, and we'll also see Richard Carter. Richard Carter is my friend. We go way back, and he's on the field, and I see the bishop. The Walton Gooden the second in VIP as well. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can make contact with Alex. Alex, good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon, the Giant. I enjoy the football game.
My man, give us your own take, man. We have corruption, we have impunity, forced imprisonment, the whole cover hole, all these bad players, ghost employees, and Joseph Human Boycott is saying he's coming, and most of the things will be things of the past. What is your take, my brother? Give me your earnest opinion.
Yeah. Okay, Ashwa, thank you again. Before I go into that, let me just say this. I think one of the biggest problems in Liberia is the lack of good journalism and the lack of real press. And I want to thank you for the job you're doing. I monitor your station. I mean, we go way back. As you've been very consistent, you've been calling it. You're not on either side. You didn't spark anybody during the election, and that's what a democratic society needs first and foremost, to have a fourth estate that is credible. Unfortunately, our problem, we don't have that, and when a few people like you can come out and educate and inform the people, so that's very important. Keep on doing what you've been doing. As far as the country, you got to look at the country into three different categories, right? Social, political, economics. Okay, that's how economists evaluate a country. It's not emotional. It's not who you like, who you don't like. So when you look at Liberia socially, it's on the decline. I mean, you can look around. Young people are destitute. Young people, no jobs, no hope. You get 14, 13-year-old children having babies, sleeping with men, their grandfathers. That society is destroyed. People at the university can't even read nor write correctly. So even if you have a private economy, who are you going to hire? Most of the students there are inadequate because again, the government have not invested in it. So the social society is broken down a year. So you need a very good gender minister. You need a very good youth and sport minister that will go back and try to rectify some of those things. So as far as under the WIA administration, it was a complete disaster, and I don't see Boaka, administration or having heard anything he said about it or who's going to be running those. But those are the key ministries. Now your finance and commerce.
But I think it's too early to come with that conclusion. Boycott has the experience. He worked in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's administration as vice president, and besides, he worked at all levels in government, from assistant minister to director to managing director, up until becoming the vice president. So I think he has the requisite credentials to know firsthand what does it take for a country to move forward.
I disagree, Ashwa, because how do you elect a president that have never given you an interview, have never met, sat with the press and talk about what he's going to do with the economy, what he's going to do with social, political? How do you elect somebody like that? You electing somebody because you elect them, or because no, you elect somebody because they've given you sufficient reasoning that they will be able to do X, Y, Z, and it told you how they're going to do it. Booker has not done that. I don't think the man has even given an interview. He tell
But I,
where.
but
So
but
I disagree.
he has a platform called Arrest
That's a
Agriculture.
slogan. That's not a platform. That's a slogan.
I mean, it forms part of his platform.
No,
Arrest.
a platform. You in
Listen,
America, Ashwa.
hear me out, Alex. Okay,
Mhm.
he talked about agriculture,
Okay,
the root of law,
okay,
roads,
okay,
uh, education, and I believe he talked about sanitation and tourism,
okay.
and just within the acronym or something we just listed has the potential to hugely make a difference.
No, okay. So a platform, you see, that's a mistake, and I hope people be educated. A platform means if you talk about education, you must tell us, first of all, what is your assessment on the education system in Liberia? How many schools will be built? Graduation rates, and what your strategy to solve some of the problems, or healthcare. You didn't talk about healthcare in that situation, of course. You didn't talk about corruption. So that's a slogan. Like when people act too ignorant. You live in America, we live in America. Go on any political platform and you will see detailed plans. If they're going to cut taxes, they're going to tell you, say, I'm going to reduce taxes, I'm going to fund this, I'm going to do this. Burger has never given a platform, it's a slogan. But just for the sake of argument, let's say sanitation. What are you going to do with sanitation? Saying that I'm going to focus on sanitation is saying nothing. If you was a if I had a student and I tell you write a paper on sanitation in Liberia and you just told me, well, I'm going to focus on sanitation, you'll get an F. Tell me what you're going to do with sanitation. How are you going to keep the streets clean? How are you going to pay for it?
Well,
So he hasn't done that, and
Joseph,
neither not just that he hasn't done that.
Joseph, you my
Most of the people
boyfriend.
around here haven't done that.
Joseph,
So not just him.
it's just the president you like. And
Mhm,
speaking of sanitation, as you can see right
mhm,
now, the city is being cleaned, and people, the volunteers are coming all over the place. And to me, that's where you test the strength of a leader. In his absence, he delegate, tell people to do this and
mhm.
do that. And next thing you know, without cohesion, they're working, they're doing this thing. But my question to you, Alex,
Mhm,
we're getting older. For 12
mhm,
years, you criticized Ellen, and you
mhm,
said all those people that are dead, they don't mean well for the country. 6 years, you were on George Ware. You even attempted to run
mhm,
as president of Liberia.
mhm,
We have a very young administration that's not taking office here, and others will start to begin to constructively critique this administration following, in most instances, the 100 days. But yet you are from the get-go that you see no hope for Liberia under Joseph Boyka. I don't think that's fair.
Well, okay, so I'm an analyst. Okay, I get paid to go in and predict the future. Okay, my job is not to go and cheerlead the future. But company hires me and say, "What you think JP Morgan is going to do next year?" It's my job to look at JP Morgan management, look at JP Morgan analysis, and tell you, well, it's a bad company. It's going to grow. It's not going to grow. So in politics, I do the same thing. In other words, when Ellen came, I was one of those who were the first to say this woman would not be able to grow the economy, so poverty will increase, and you will have corruption. I was right. Okay, Ellen offered me a job. at the Ministry of Finance in America, in the US. She came and she asked me to work with Saye, and I just didn't think that she was a serious person. So it's not a matter of just criticism for criticism's sake. If I see seriousness
But if you
and I
think
see,
you are the guy that can make all the difference, right? And they come and say, listen, Mr. Jones, because of your expertise and your technical know-how, we want you to come and help us fix this thing. And you say you didn't get think that Ellen was a serious person, so you refused the job. Come on,
so what I did,
that's not been fair to the people of
yeah,
Liberia.
yeah. So what I do instead is I write a lot of economic solutions, right? If you read my paper or you Google my names, I've written on all these things. I've written on how to get the airline going in Liberia, which is very important. Don't focus on road, focus on airstrips. That way you can move, people around, you can decentralize. So all my solutions, I don't have to work for the government, work for an administration to help it. I've given it all the help. I said, get Liberians best, whether you in journalism or you in your accounting, get them all around from the world, right? Set up a symposium so that they can come up with policy in different respective area. Any smart person, that's what you would do. The person doesn't have to be in Liberia. I could get somebody who's working in Japan on technology, somebody who's working in Europe on finance, somebody who's working in banking. Get your best minds, right? Put them together in a working group, so that they can come to set up that policy for which you haven't done. So I would be happy to do something like that. But to say that I got to go and work in your political government, go and praise, sing your praises, that means I'm not helping the country. Every time I criticize, I've given an alternative. Everything I've criticized, nobody can point to, another solution that I've proposed. Cut the ministers and the high-ranking government officials down their salary by at least 50%. Take the savings that you're doing, set up a cash transfer program to give people small loans, to give single mother, young children, at least some subsidies. Do I need to be Minister of Finance? The people around the kid think of those kind of ideas. Why should you pay somebody $7,000 in a country where the average pay for most of the population is $60? Why? It doesn't make any economic sense. So those are the things that I'm not hearing from Joseph Walker. Those are the things that I'm not hearing from the people around him. They're fighting for position. So how will I come out now as an analyst and say, yeah, I should wait? No,
I mean,
this should be clear. They want cut government salary down.
You are a great researcher. I'm pretty sure Boyka has a website that has all of those things. But again, we want to say thanks for your political commentary this afternoon. They are calling us now to go back on the field.
Thank you.
as we finalize the political game this afternoon. My man Ellis Choo Jones, as always, it's fun talking to you, my brother. Enjoy the rest of the
My pleasure. And happy New Year's to all of you guys. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
That's right. We are back for the second and final portion of the game. Still no score to either side, no score to Liberia, and no score to Societal Ills. I see Elvis is on here this afternoon. I also see Salvage Doi. And my friend and big brother, Sion player, Orlando Krenga is in the building as well. Monica Cohn is also in the building. Dr. Law Bryant is in the game as well. I see Terry Vonnie Collins, Monster Boy, Mustafa Sone. Oh man. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to corruption. But first off, I want to say a big thanks to those who contributed for fuel for the generator on the SKD Sports Complex this afternoon. Miss Vidal Campbell and Richard Carter. The ball comes to Black Miller. Black Miller looks around to Greedy Hunter. Greedy Hunter is moving deep in out of the field. Then the ball comes to overdraft protection fees. Overdraft protection fee to drugs abuse under tribalism. Then the ball comes to power theft. Power theft to Ministry of Commerce onto Finance Ministry. Then the ball comes to Central Bank. Central Bank is moving deep in out of the field. The ball comes to immigration. Immigration is moving. Immigration to NPA. Back to immigration. The immigration system in the country, folks. You'll be surprised that drugs are coming in the country from every sector. of the country. I mean, all 15 counties, there are borders there, and the immigration is doing little or nothing. And that's why the drugs can't leave our country. At the National Port Authority, the managing director is out on leave, and everybody doing their own thing. You got the Port of Buchanan, Greenville, Sandal, Maryland, the Port of Monrovia. These guys just bringing drugs in the country. How can you stop the folks from doing drugs? Our brothers and sisters now who are challenged with this drugs intake need serious help. But you have to first tackle the problem of drugs. Not only confiscate the drugs, but those who are involved. Liberia is the only country where a foreigner comes to your country, brings in drugs. You arrest this guy. You send him to court. He gets convicted. Couple of months later, he's out of jail and flees the country. All because of corruption. I mean, the judicial system in the country is so messed up to the point where you can't, when you go to court, just leave your own with God, because 9 out of 10, even though you're supposed to win your case, but you end up falling short because you don't have money. The ball comes to insurance fraud, then to bushmeat, bushmeat to sex for job, back to bushmeat, then they can misstatement. The ball comes to Congo gossiper, then the ball goes back to bushmeat. The president of Liberia is involved into buying stolen cars. People get car notes, they pay for 1 or 2 months, then they flip the car, send the car to Africa, Liberia to be precise. Most of the government officials and their girlfriends, they're all driving bushmeat. Including the president. Some of the car is stolen in America. I remember a few years ago when Akawa's great, the Opium King Kong, or stolen BMW was sent to Liberia. And next thing you look, a sitting lawmaker was proud to put his license plate on that BMW. Not knowing the car was stolen, that was a bushmeat. But this is the country we find ourselves in. The ball comes to National Investment Commission. National Investment Commission, the NPA back to LPRC, back to LRA. LRA back to National Investment Commission. LRA is in trouble. We're told now, Simon Twelve said Thomas Dona was in fact one of the most important people in the government. Everything that has to do with taxes and revenue, Thomas Dona was the man. But you sent Thomas Dona number to John Molu when Thomas Dona was no longer in the position to speak. Days later, the man died while his body is still at the funeral home. George Weah appoints his replacement. Because Thomas Dona was going to be the guy to open up to Joseph Human Boyka and say, this is what happened. But because they can't make statement, these guys would do everything to protect their loots. If they have to kill, they will kill. And who do they have to protect them? The Musa murdered them. Musa didn't have to take a job in George Weah's administration. The man was doing very well in his private sector. But let me tell you this. When Musa Din was appointed justice minister, he found a guy to take over his practice at his law firm. But guess what? This guy who is in the office of Musa Din now happens to be a Unity Party lawyer. So nothing gonna really change. It's gonna be business as usual. Because the same people will continue to work together. And at the end of the day, Liberia will continue to suffer. Because they all don't mean well for that country. And it is my hope and prayer that Joseph Human Boyka will see reason to distance himself from all the bad practices in our country. It is only then we can see a real change in that country. I heard him say the culture of impunity will be something of the past and will hold him to his word. For now, we're just on the outside looking in. The culture of conflict of interest. You're a minister of education, but you have private institutions. So that when grants come to the country for the government institutions, then you send those grants, you send those materials to your private institution while the government-based institution continues to suffer. This conflict of interest guy, you the health minister, you as the head of JFK, then you have your own private practice. So when drugs or medication come to the country for usage at JFK or the Jackson F. Hospital, then you carry it to your private hospital, your private clinic. We built a state-of-the-art hospital in Nima, the Jackson F. Hospital. I mean, anything from CAT scan to X-ray machine, MRI machine. But you rob Paul to pay Peter. The president will tell you to go to Nima, send the hospital is not functioning, take the X-ray machine from there and bring it to JFK. Take the CAT scan machine from there and bring it to JFK. But you driving private jet, you flying private jet for 6 years. The basic needs of your people cannot be met. All you know how to do is to shake from the waist below. Who told you because you're a president, you can sleep with any object that moves? To the tune where you will sleep with your friend and women. Then you will sleep with women and men in exchange for jobs. This is not the country that we need in the 21st century now. Folks, we have come to the injury stopping time. Injury stopping time now, ladies and gentlemen. The game is almost at the end. And no score to either side. No score to Liberia. And no score to Societal Ills. Ernest Gaylord is in the building. Tippos P.K. Dempster is also in the building. Randolph Jala. Muslin Boyka. Oh, man. So until we can begin to change the narrative, you get rid of political corruption, false promises, lies, D-hole, cover hole, identity theft, you government official, but you still in power, you still in light. But when the common man steals, then you're beaten and sent him to jail. But the real criminals are walking around freely because they're in power. this nonsense will stop. We're hoping under this new administration we'll begin to see change. And folks, a little past the hour, and that's all the time we have to be with you on today's edition of the Political Soccer Game on Bridge TV Africa, Bridge Radio Africa. I want to say a big thanks to all of you who would have taken enough time to contribute in helping us to get fuel for the generator, because lighting La Brenda is Christmas light. And I just want to say a big thanks to Richard Carter and Fidel Campbell for your contribution. My big sister, Human Throw, Crane Guy is also here. And until we talk to you on Monday with a fresh, brand new edition of the Political Soccer Game, please allow me to take away from the wise men, folks with wisdom. And they say tough times don't last, tough people do. The height of a man is never known until he rises, because there's no second chance to make that first impression. Don't see okra and swallow bone, because you can't hide your nakedness from beefing bucket. When God bless you, don't see that medicine. When white men know you friend black man. What people think about you, then the possibility for your dream is none of your business. And when you fall, make sure you land on your back, because when you can look up, you can get up. You have the power in you to do so. You have comeback power. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Whatever you're going through, continue to take courage. Courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Keep working on your dream. Keep believing in yourself. Do away with the conversation that has to do with negativity. Try to avoid toxic, negative, and energy draining folks. And start sharing your dream, your idea with them, because they can't see it for themselves. So it will be very hard for them to see it for you. All they would do is to discourage you and say it is impossible. But there's a reason why you were thinking about it, because God put it in you. They can't see it. Only you can see it, because God wants you to do that. And when you start telling people about what is it that you want to do, because they have no idea where the strength will come from, where the how will come from, where the money will come from, then all they do is to discourage you. And don't allow somebody's opinion to become your reality. The mastermind, the doctor of love, the medicine of the microphone, the golden voice of radio, the broadcast commissioner, Basillon Pro, Ramon, not duplicatos, Shatuka Karate. He doesn't eat iron, but he's definitely stronger than a lion. Africa's media doobie-doo extraordinaire. The media mogul creator. I'm Ash with the Giant, the Now You Know Me Garlic. Have a great afternoon and enjoy the weekend.
Everybody shake it for me.